and feel the energy that's inside your body and make that bigger. Make that bigger and connect with everyone else who's on this webinar. The energy that we carry within us is very powerful. And when we're open and let that energy come out, we actually can connect with others in very, very simple manner. Thank you for doing that. I can feel your energy right now, and now I can go on. The speaking part would probably be about 30-35 minutes. Then we'll open the webinar to questions. If you feel that there's something you'd like to share with myself or the group, you can always go to our chat box, which should be at the bottom of your screen, and send a chat to the group or myself. And at the end, I will open the webinar to everyone. Whoever would like to share, I would like to invite you to share your experience through this process. And also, if you have any questions, if I can answer any questions, that would be really wonderful. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so I'm going to start sharing my screen. And this PowerPoint that I put together, it's something that came to me. Now, I'm very open to let anything that needs to come up that might help you even more to come through me. And so I'm not really attached to this to this PowerPoint, just wanted to say that. So the name of the company that I have founded is Healing with Compassion. Let me just go one more up. And I can be reached by email, which is zoya@healingwithcompassion.com at any time. Also, the number that you can reach me at is 866-908-4325. Just wanted to say that somebody mentioned that people do not like to call 800 numbers. I wanted to say that this 800 number, it's 866 number, actually rings on my cell phone right here. So I can get your calls as soon as you make them, or I can return your calls as soon as I get your message. So today's webinar is going to be about releasing emotions and why the emotions come up and why do we need to release them. We know that life is full of challenges. Life goes, and the more we want to control, the more in trouble we get. So taking a moment and being present to the emotions that we're going through, that being present to the emotions that we feel, actually takes us a little bit further and into healing process. So we're going to talk about that in more detail, but just wanted to kind of give you a heads up at where we're going. The agenda for today is welcome, which we already discussed, and the questions that we discussed. So chat box, and then at the end, I would love to hear from you about your experience. And we're going to talk about a little bit about my experience and who I am and why I'm doing this. And also we go a little bit deeper into experiencing loss and why we do that, why that happens, and how to release emotions that could calm us down. Because the process is there. We cannot get away from the process, unfortunately. The only thing we can do is go through it and find the gifts that are on the other side of the experiences that we're going through. And then we want to look at why feeling good is important. We all want to feel good all the time, of course. I'm one of the most people that want to feel good all the time. I don't like to feel bad, but feeling bad is a part of life, unfortunately. And then taking action with commitment is the key to healing. So again, I'm excited to go through this. A little bit about me. My life right now is amazing. I never thought I would be where I am today. I can make a difference for people by coaching, by doing Reiki, by just being a listening, just being someone who can actually provide a space by just listening without any judgment. Comes to me, I want to say second nature, and I'm really grateful for that. Just want to tell you that life wasn't this way. There was a time that I had my previous husband and my son, we lived in Northridge, and we were going about our lives and our challenges and our wins. And unfortunately, all of a sudden, everything stopped. My husband was diagnosed with colon cancer, and he passed away in 2002. And my son, Roy, who was the apple of my eye and someone who I'm always attached to and grateful for, passed away before the age of 24 in 2004. And that by itself, losing them both within 2 years of each other, really put me on a path to healing. The pain was too much, but one night I decided that I am going to heal this. And that's when miracles started happening. I have experienced a lot of my dreams coming through, as far as like traveling to places, as far as learning how to paint. I'm sharing one of my paintings, which is here. And the reason for that, not to show it off, is also to let you know that as you heal your grief, as you go through what is really the hardest part of your life, then miracles and amazing things will come your way. Unfortunately, my PowerPoint, the last part is covered, and that was one of the miracles, was that I was a part of a book called Get Your Woman On. I'm very proud of that because there's so many women's stories in that book that are very inspiring. So wherever you are right now is a good place to be. And I just want to say that, again, it's my pleasure to be here and be within this community of beautiful people. So right now, let's do a centering meditation. And just want to invite you to sit comfortably. You can close your eyes, you can keep them open. And because we've been so many places, and because I was on the wrong webinar, I guess I also need to be centered in this present moment. So just go ahead and close your eyes or keep them open. And I'm going to verbalize the guided meditation by Thich Nhat Hanh. He's a Buddhist monk, which you probably have heard of. And I'm going to repeat this 3 times. And I really want you to feel the words coming to you, and just feel them in your mind and feel them in your body. And try to calm your body as much as possible, and just to be here with the rest of the group. This hour is yours. And I'd like you to give yourself permission to use it and to bring the healing into your body as you're coming to the present moment. So I'd like to invite you to take a few deep breaths into your stomach and breathe out very slowly. So breathing in, I calm my body. And breathing out, I smile. Breathing in, dwelling in the present moment. Breathing out, I know it is a wonderful moment. Breathing in, I calm my body. And breathing out, I smile. Dwelling in the present moment, I know it is a wonderful moment. One last time, breathing in, I calm my body. And breathing out, I smile. Breathing in, dwelling in the present moment. And breathing out, I know it is a wonderful moment. Thank you for being with me during this meditation. I know I feel a lot calmer, and I hope you do too. So I'm going to give us just a few seconds, and we'll go to the next thing that we're here to talk about. How do we experience loss? Just want to say that experiencing loss, even though it's a part of life, is something that is very personal. And it's something that could be very sacred as well. Sorry, I forgot to put my phone on mute. Okay, that's taken care of. Thank you for giving that. So it's really personal and sacred. And I really want to invite you to see that as that. The feelings of that you're experiencing because of any type of loss, could be loss of a job, could be loss of hope for some reason, could be taking care of your parents, and could be loss of a parent or a child even, which I've experienced. So as we hold that space sacred, just want you to feel how that feels in your body. If you say that whatever I'm going through right now could be loss of a job, that is the sacred space for me, and it's personal. And realize that when we go through a loss, all of our emotions can hit at the same time. There is I know that there was a study done by Elizabeth Kubler-Ross in regards to different stages of grief that we go through. And I just want to tell you that that study was done by or for people who were getting close to losing their life and who were getting close to dying. And it does not apply to people who are going through loss afterwards for the rest of us. And just want you to know that when we go through a loss, we are hit with different emotions all at the same time. That's why they call it the up and down feeling. So it could be up and good for a moment and then feeling really not up there anymore, a little bit sad, and could be anger, could be a lot of different emotions again coming in. So one of the things that I just want to invite you to do is being aware of how your body is feeling, being aware of the thoughts that are coming through. Because any type of loss brings our past up in front of us. It brings our past because the emotions that we have carried from the past need to be released. And then it creates a lot of problems in the future because that's our point of view. We're going through this binoculars, I want to call them, that brings us to it brings our past also in the future. Because from where we are, the future is not looking really good, does it? So the only thing that we can do anything about is the present moment. This is where we can make choices. Right now is where we can say, I'm choosing to be this way. I'm choosing to be with my pain, and that's perfect. I'm choosing not to fight the emotions that are coming through me. So how we react connect to the emotions that are going through us is really important. Most of the time we resent what we're going through. We want the thought and the pain to go away. We don't want to be with all of that. But not knowing that going through that is where the gifts come afterwards. But not knowing that this could be a beginning of something new in our lives. This could be bringing us to where we need to be, could be bringing us to our path. And just want to say that I am a very good example of that. If I hadn't gone through all of my losses, we wouldn't be here talking. So I'm very grateful for that. Not that I wanted any of them, but it's the path that I'm on, and I really appreciate that, just being here with you and talking about this. And a lot of times we're attached. We're attached to the job that we lost, or attachment to people that are no longer here. And that attachment can actually create a separation from us and them. I think I forgot to mention that after my son passed away, he sent me messages that he's okay and he's with his dad. So they're out there. I have seen numbers of ways that people connected with their loved ones after they passed. So anything that we have lost, maybe there was a reason for that, or maybe there was a reason for that for us to be on our path, or maybe they weren't supposed to be in our lives. Maybe the job wasn't the right job for us. Maybe the person who we loved and no longer love us is not the right person for us. So just want to show you that attachment can actually create a connection that is not for our highest good, because we want to control. And I just want to invite you to go into acceptance. What would life be if you accepted everything in your life? In just this moment, if you just for this moment, and you can take that back, how would life be if you accepted your present situation? I'm just going to let you be with that for just a moment. If anything comes up, you can write it down or you can put it on our chat box. Okay, let's take a few deep breaths, because I know that might have brought up a lot of emotions for you. Take a few deep cleansing breaths, and now we're going to go into releasing the negative emotions. This is the part that can be healing for us if we choose for it to come in. The only way to release the negative emotions or thoughts properly and get the power back in our lives is to access the present moment. Present moment, right here, right now. Now, how do we do that if we're dealing with emotions, if we're dealing with thoughts that are always there? Just want to say one thing about thoughts. Our brains are computers. The only thing that they can do is to process information that they're given. So whatever the mind and brain is telling us are stuff from the past, not the future, because the future is not here yet. And that's what we're dealing with when we deal with the mind, when we let the mind take over. Mind is like a big computer that keeps repeating the same data that it was given. It has no other way of communicating with us, because that's all it has. So what do we do at this point? Just want to bring up meditation. I don't know if you're meditating or if you have wondered about meditation, because that's the thing these days. We all talk about spirituality and meditation. And a lot of us, or some people would like to learn it, and some people would like to get more into it. And for just this moment, I know we did a meditation earlier, just want you to be present to the breath that are coming from your nose and going into your throat and into the rest of the body to your lungs. So at any moment, if you feel that the pressures are getting to you, any moment that you feel emotions are coming up and you don't know what to do with them, just take a moment. Just take a moment and breathe. And focus on that breath. And I'd like you to see what difference that can make for you. Just being focused on the breath. That is meditation. Of course, we can get more into it, but the time does not allow, and maybe in the future webinars we can do that. So, but just being in that meditation mode gives you a little bit of space between what the mind is bringing in and the emotions you're feeling, and just being in the present moment. So every time you want to access the present moment, just breathe. Just one of the tools that I like to share with you. The other one is free flow writing. What is free flow writing? Some people, when I ask if you like to write, they say, well, no, I don't. I don't like to write because I can't write, because my grammar is not good, because misspelling. So the free flow writing actually takes all of that and throws it out the window. The free flow writing is just basically writing your thoughts on the paper. Just saying what's coming through. And some magic happens when you do that. I do that every morning. I call it morning pages. And when I do that, stuff that are coming through, and just maybe worries, maybe neglect, maybe some type of sadness, if it's coming through. By doing the morning pages, I can actually release those. So I'd like to invite you to try that. And in your free flow writing, you can also include a gratitude journal. Journaling about what you were grateful for. I know we hear that everywhere, and sometimes I just say, well, that's not going to work. But I've experienced it. And when I'm focusing on what I'm grateful for, I can't help it but be in the present moment. I can't help it but be in an awe of what life can bring and all that I have and the joy that that brings me. And so the next thing that I would like to talk about as a tool is the emotions, that thoughts that we're going through. Are we willing to let it go? Again, it's a choice. It's a question that I like you to ask yourself. Whatever I'm going through right now in this moment, am I willing to let it go? And then be present to, am I accepting this? As long as we're accepting what we're going through and not fighting with it, we can let it go. I've had recent experiences with something that happened that was really hard for me to deal with. And as long as I kept saying, this should not have happened, guess what? I was suffering through the pain. I was blaming other people. I was feeling victimized by it. But when I said, I accept this, and I put my foot down on that, the suffering and all the crying and all of that stopped. So just want you to be present to what acceptance can actually create. The acceptance is not for the other person who could have hurt us. It's not saying that what happened, that my child is no longer here. What happened that my job is not here. What happened that I need to take care of my mother, she's getting older. It's not for any of that, but the acceptance is for us. When we accept something that happened to us and we say, it is the way it is. Just want you to really feel how much calmer you can get by just saying, I accept. Again, accepting doesn't mean that you're saying whatever has happened should have happened, or you're not saying that whoever did whatever to you that should not have. It's really just saying, okay, I accept the way it is. Because the way it is, it's perfect. And another thing that I wanted to also talk about is healing actually has a lot to do with taking care of your body. I know for me, when I'm going through grief and when I'm going through sadness and I'm dealing with a lot of different unfortunate events that could have happened, the first thing I do is stress my body, which is normal for all of us. And then I forget that I need to take care of my body because I'm focused on all of these things that are happening. But if you take a moment and really do what's good for our bodies, can actually release a lot of stress from our minds as well. For example, water, drinking water is really important, especially if you're going through a lot of crying days and a lot of eating junk food, which I do as well. Drinking water is very important. So make sure that you're drinking proper amount of water. And as much as you can, eating healthy, eating things that can heal your body and not the things that could taste good but not so good for your body. So maybe creating a balance. And also exercise. One of the biggest things that I say that helped me heal from all of those losses was going to the gym. I never forget that every time I went to the gym, it felt amazing. And I felt like all of the emotions and stress from my body was almost gone. So just like to invite you to take that on. And the exercise doesn't have to be something heavy. It doesn't have to be lifting weights. It could just be taking a walk in fresh air and being present to what you see, being present to the leaves on the trees, to the way that birds sing. I love to look at the sky because the clouds are amazing. And then feeling the depth of the sky and how far it goes. And being present to this planet that we're on. I can go on and on about this, so I'm going to stop. But really just taking care of ourselves and helping ourselves is the very first step that we can take about healing. Okay, so we're going to go to the next part in the PowerPoint. And I just want to talk about why feeling good is important. I'm looking at the watch. Just want to make sure we don't go over. Just want you to kind of take a look. Having less stress on the body, having healthier body, as we were just talking about, that'd be something that can actually elevate us to the next level. I know for myself, when I don't drink enough water, I was telling my sister yesterday that I just feel groggy and I get a headache. And when I don't move enough, I just feel like I cannot move at all. So that's why feeling good is important, because it brings us, it helps us focus on what the body needs instead of focusing on negative. Again, we're focusing on positive. And it helps us being open to possibilities. There are so many possibilities that we face every day. But when we're focused on the negative, when we're focused on what's not working in our lives, guess what happens? We lose sight of what's really out there for us. We lose sight of what the universe is bringing us. We lose sight of how we can move our lives forward, how we can make our dreams come true. Again, feeling good is important because we are focused on what matters the most. Instead of wasting our lives worrying about what we don't want, wasting our lives worrying about what has happened to us or the losses that we've gone through. We can move forward. We can see that we can create a life that's really working for us. We can create a life that brings love and attention and positive energy to us and everyone around us. Can make a difference for others. Finance is another part of life that it's a part of life. And when we are in the negative, our finances can also get hit. And that part is also very painful. So just being aware that feeling good is really more important than just feeling good, just being happy. It affects a lot of other parts of our lives. Feeling good is also good because we can make better decisions that can impact so many choices we're making in our lives. We can make better choices. And now we know that we can get to the point that we're feeling good. Now we have tools that can bring us to the point of feeling good. So thank you for being through this with me so far. And the last part, taking action with commitment, is the key. So just wanted to say that I would like to bring gifts to everyone on this call and everyone who was supposed to be here, not present and watching the video, that my passion is making a difference in people's lives. And I would love to share that with as many people as possible. So I would love to invite you to join me for a complimentary 30-minute heart-to-heart conversation The charge on that is usually $50, and I would waive that because we are connected on this call. And 30% off discounts on all of my programs. I do one-on-one coaching. I have upcoming workshops. And I'm also creating group classes. I hope that the information I shared was valuable and made a difference for you. And any feedback that you'd like to give me, I really would appreciate it. And just want to wish you a wonderful, a beautiful day full of great and beautiful things. And the rest of the week until next Thursday that we can get together and discuss another part of the webinars. Thank you again for being with us and look forward to having you on the next webinar.